Once upon a time, there was a young basketball player who had dreams of becoming one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah. Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
I remember the sound of my shoes against the empty court. 4 in the morning, no cameras, no fans, no teammates, just me, the ball, and the truth that awaited in those early hours. The truth most people never want to face. I made 400 shots every morning before most players even open their eyes. Not 40, not 100, 400. And that was just the beginning of my day. But here's what you need to understand. Those shots weren't just about basketball. They were about something deeper, something most people spend their entire lives avoiding. The thing standing between you and mastery isn't talent. It is an opportunity. It's your relationship with discomfort.
I had the opportunity to go to the NBA and play against the greatest players in the world. That doesn't get you going. I don't think anything will. It's like a dream come true.
I couldn't even dream of this when I was a kid. It's just no way possible. It's just, just a blessing from above.
The joy of the game comes from just being out there and just playing. The competitive side of me feels like we can win every game that we play.
I was 16 years old, sitting alone in my high school gym after everyone had gone home. My ankle was throbbing, a grade 2 sprain that should have kept me sidelined for weeks. The pain radiated with each heartbeat, a constant reminder of my limitation. I had 2 choices: respect the pain or respect my purpose. I wrapped that ankle so tight I could barely feel my foot. Then I shot for 3 more hours. Each jump was agony. Each landing was a test of will. But with every shot, I was building something more important than skill. I was building a relationship with suffering. You see, most people approach mastery backward. They focus on the result, the championship, the promotion, the achievement. But true mastery isn't about what you want to obtain. It's about what you're willing to endure. Pain is not the enemy of greatness. It's the gateway. When I trained with Hakeem Olajuwon to develop my post moves, he said something I never forgot. He watched me work for hours, repeating the same pivot over and over until my legs burned and my lungs screamed. When I finally stopped, drenched in sweat, he smiled and said, "Kobe, most players practice until they get it right. You practice until you can't get it wrong." That difference, that gap between good enough and can't fail, that's where mastery lives. And the only path there is through thousands of hours when no one is watching, pushing past the point when others would quit. The real transformation doesn't happen on game day, it happens in the dark. I used to arrive at the Lakers facility at 4:15 a.m. to start training. One morning I noticed a cleaning lady watching me as she finished her overnight shift. After several weeks, she approached me. I expected the usual questions about fame or championships. Instead, she asked, "Why do you do this when you've already achieved so much?" The question caught me off guard because the answer seemed so obvious to me, yet remains invisible to most. I told her something I want you to remember, because I haven't achieved everything that's within me. Most people never discover what they're truly capable of. They settle for what's expected, what's reasonable, what doesn't hurt too much. But within you is potential that can only be unlocked through relentless pursuit, through a decision to keep going when every signal in your body and mind screams for you to stop. This is the foundation of what people call Mamba Mentality. It's not about being ruthless or aggressive. It's about an intimate relationship with your own evolution. I remember a practice session with Team USA, LeBron, D-Wade, Carmelo, all the greats were there. The practice was scheduled for 11 a.m. I had already been training since 5 a.m., drenched in sweat while they arrived fresh. One of them joked, "Man, you're working like you don't have any championships." I didn't laugh. I said, "I'm working like I've never won one." That's the secret most people miss. Mastery isn't an achievement. It's a practice, a daily commitment to the idea that you are never finished becoming. When I tore my Achilles tendon that night against the Warriors, I still stepped to the free throw line and made both shots before walking off on my own. People called it toughness. But it wasn't about being tough. It was about being faithful to a decision I had made decades earlier, that pain would never dictate my action. Pain is information, not instruction. After my retirement, a young player asked me for the secret to developing an unstoppable jump shot. He expected me to talk about elbow alignment or follow through. Instead, I asked him, how many shots did you take yesterday? He probably said about 300. I looked him in the eye and said, that's the difference between you and me. I don't count the shots I take in a day. I count the shots I don't. Confusion flashed across his face. On days when I planned to take 1,000 shots, but only managed 800, those missing 200 keep me up at night. They represent the gap between commitment and compromise. This is what separates those who achieve competence from those who achieve mastery. Competence is meeting the standard. Mastery is setting a standard no one else can comprehend. When I was developing my fadeaway jumper, I didn't practice until I could make it consistent. I practiced until my body couldn't physically execute it incorrectly, until the movement became as natural as breathing. That level of integration doesn't come from casual commitment. It comes from obsession. But here's what most people get wrong about obsession. They think it's about never taking a break, about grinding yourself into dust. That's not mastery, that's martyrdom. True obsession is about immersion.